Why do you care so much? What are you so worked up about? And before you skip through my intro and my shout outs, you could miss out on a chance to win a 52 Topps Mickey Mantle. What's going on, sports card hobby family? We are back again. It is another day. It is another sports card video. How the heck is everybody doing?
I feel pretty good too. I think I finally got some sleep.
We're going to get a little bit personal today. As we do on Tuesdays and Fridays, we've got shout outs. Huge shout out to Wooten Sports Cards on Whatnot. 10,000 followers. 5-star feedback. You know you're going to get good customer service when you're dealing with Wooten. He has got a bevy of stuff, sells out pretty much every week. Football cards galore. You guys know I'm the football cards collector. I love football cards. Check out Wooten Sports Cards today. VintageBreaks.com and Vintage Breaks on YouTube. They've got a 1952 Topps baseball near set break, guys, which includes a Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays 52 Topps graded PSA 1. Not only do they have Vintage Breaks, sell vintage packs, but they've also got 2023 Prism basketball hobby boxes. For example, they've got all the high-end modern stuff as well. What really makes Vintage Breaks unique in the industry, the bonuses, the vintage cards, the giveaways. In fact, for new customers, if you mention Sports Card Dad in their chat, they're giving away free spots in their 1964 Topps baseball set break. All you have to do is mention Sports Card Dad in the YouTube chat, and they will take care of you. But not only that, that's not where it ends. For new customers, any Sports Card Dad viewer who registers will also be entered into a free giveaway that ends on March 10th at 4 p.m. Eastern, and that lucky viewer will win a free spot in their 1952 Topps baseball near set break for a chance to win a Mickey Mantle 52 Topps PSA 1. Can we have pictures, Frank? Pictures. Unbelievable. Make sure to check out VintageBreaks.com and Vintage Breaks on YouTube. And last but certainly not least, we've got Jay, DUKK, and Cards on IG. This guy's got all the non-sports goodness. He's got Parks and Recreation cards. He's got President cards. He's got Ghostbusters cards. He's got everything non-sports, pop culture stuff. He's also got sports cards as well. But if you're looking for really unique culture cards, entertainment cards, non-sports stuff, a lot of it graded. He's got raw copies as well, but make sure to check Jay's IG. I will put it in the video description, pinned comments with everything else, but we'll also put a picture up here as well. Make sure to connect with Jay today and check out his inventory. We talk a lot here about, hey, let people hobby however they want to hobby. Let them do their thing. And today we've got what I'm hoping for, some audience participation, because I want to learn more about my viewership in particular, because we really reached a point. We went from really a heavy spec time going back to 2020 and 2021, where you had a lot of participants that were here and getting in because there's a lot of quick flip opportunities. And that makes sense. Hey, look, if there's opportunity, people will come. But now we've entered into a space where, yes, there are quick flip opportunities, of course, but there's less of them, and also just people that are coming in or have stayed in. And why have they done that? Why do you care so much?
School's closed. It's a holiday, you dumbasses.
Whoa. No school. Yeah.
Why do you care to stay in and bother with this stuff? And I'll start with myself. Why do I care? It's actually pretty simple for me. It's all based around the nostalgia of my childhood. I've mentioned it here on my channel before. My parents got divorced when I was 11. It was not an easy time for me, and a lot of my coping mechanism was collectibles back then. I'm not blaming them. Love you, Mom and Dad. And we got through it. But at the time in my world back in 1992, it wasn't as common as it is today for parents to get divorced, and I didn't know a lot of other kids that were in that boat. I feel like the 90s was kind of the beginning of the divorce era, and it has continued on, but the 90s was really when it started to get more and more common. And so for me, again, baseball cards, collectibles, comic books, action figures, that sort of stuff was a way for me to just kind of get out of my head and focus on something else. And so I got heavy into it. And over time, I moved on, just like a lot of people did. But what, of course, happens? Now I've got 4 kids, work, there's a lot of responsibilities. And so again, this is kind of a way for me to get out of my head, get out of my stress, my anxiety, and just have a good time. It's something that just brings a smile to my face because it used to be the thing that brought a smile to my face when I was a kid. Of course, a time when there just wasn't anywhere near as many responsibilities or pressures as, being an adult. So we're just big kids, most of us. We're just big kids out here. Now, but that's just, as a collector buying things, nostalgic stuff, I do have the caveat of I do want to buy really cool things, which I hope maintain value or grow value over time. So that is a goal of mine. I do understand that everything I buy is not going to go to the moon in 100x and all that stuff. I don't really believe that that's realistic. I know we saw it in 2021. I don't anticipate it happening quite like that again. But would I like to see kind of normal, steady increases over time? Yeah, I think that would be great. And I think for most people, if they're being honest with themselves that watch these videos, they probably want the same thing. I don't think anybody wants to buy something, and then if they have to sell off of it for whatever reason, they get half of their money. They get 25% of their money. And so I'm very open about that. On the same token, though, there are times when I like quick flip type stuff. I'm doing it right now with quarterbacks leading up to this draft. I've never bought any sort of Bowman U or Onyx or wild card autographs coming up into the draft, but I'm kind of banking a little bit on this CJ Stroud effect that happened last year, and will there be some kind of FOMO into these cards, and also just the unknown of when will these guys have autographs in pro unis, given that Panini and Fanatics are battling it out, and we just don't really have any answers there. So, of course, what's happened with Stroud stuff is he still literally has cards in his Ohio State unis. He's all the way through his rookie season, and they still sell for huge money. Now, granted, I know CJ Stroud, he was kind of an exception to the rule. Bryce Young, the number 1 overall pick, did horribly, and so his cards haven't really done the same thing. But the idea that you have a strong QB class, I'm all about football anyway. I want to watch the NFL draft. This is kind of a fun thing for me to, okay, I'm kind of speculating on this stuff, and I'll kind of settle into some of this hype as they get drafted. Just makes my offseason a little bit more fun. How many of you are in it just for that sort of thing? Guys, this is a safe space. You can talk about it. I'm not going to ridicule you. There's some people that they just really get a high off of being right on a player. Okay, I'm going to speculate on this particular player or this particular set because I think that over time, maybe it's 6 months, a year, or maybe this weekend, you buy it on Friday, on Sunday, I think I could sell it for more. There is a high that comes with that, and people kind of trying to speculate on those sorts of things. Is that you? Are you somebody that likes to speculate? Or like me, are you kind of like you speculate on stuff to maybe fund kind of more of like the longer term hold stuff? Why do you care, and what keeps you here? That's what I want to learn today from my commenters, from my audience, because I know there's a lot of people that hobby different ways. There's some people that they might buy cards daily, and there's some people that might buy cards maybe a handful of times a year, but they've got a great collection that they've built over time, or they've got a small collection that they just really enjoy. They've kind of curated it to where it's like, hey, look, I've got a dozen cards that I really love, and maybe I'm looking for 1 or 2, and that's how I'm doing it. There's some people that have cardboard stacked to the ceiling, and they might have a couple of dead cats in the freezer because, the show Hoarders is going to show up soon to take their stuff. I want to hear about it in the comments section. Again, safe space. Whether you're the collector that's got a full house of cardboard and the whole family's left, or if you're a flipper, or if you've got 3 cards that you're just like, man, these are my cards, or if it's totally different for you and you've got some other strategy. I just like hearing how people collect / speculate / quotations invest in sports cards, sports memorabilia, collectibles, because I think it's an amazing space for what I talked about earlier. It should be all about stress relief. That's really what it should be about. And I understand too, there's kind of a high rollers. There's a, buying into a break or buying into, a big box, opening up a hobby box. I know there's a golden ticket, kind of a gamble aspect to it as well. Is that you? Are you someone that really likes, when you buy into that Houston Texans break, you are really psyched that, oh my gosh, Friday night, they're going to open up a case of Prism. And if there's some crazy CJ Stroud card in there, Black Finite 1 of 1, then that's me. That's going to be mine. Is that you? Again, I don't think there's a wrong way to do it, and I would like to know what gets you going and what keeps you in. Let me know. All right, guys, stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.